This time around, I'm specifically going to be ranting about why brand loyalty is foolish. In particular, we're going to go back to people just abandoning ship at Blizzard. And Blizzard tries to damage control that. Say, oh, remember, guys, everything is always a team effort. Just because our best and brightest are leaving doesn't mean we're going to suddenly get worse. As Blizzard has been getting worse since StarCraft 2. Some would even argue that StarCraft 2 was the beginning of the end. It definitely was in terms of how they monetized it. I mean, dang, selling you the game in 3 chunks, that was... I don't know. I mean, to be fair, they were fairly meaty 20-hour-long campaigns. Fine. I'll give them that. But yeah, that was still... StarCraft 2 could have been seen as the beginning of the end. But yes, this right here, despite what Blizzard tries to say for damage control, is why you should not be loyal to a brand. And we could see this with not just Blizzard. Blizzard is probably my most personal example because they used to be my favorite developer. They went from spectacular to shit pretty quickly. Just thinking back to my own history, Warcraft 2. Warcraft 2 and Diablo 2 combined, mostly Warcraft 2 though, are the reasons I'm such a big gamer, and specifically a PC gamer. Those were spectacular. I mean, yeah, they had their flaws, but God, that was just so much fun. It's been so long since I've had that much fun in a game. And then Warcraft 3, fucking great. Starcraft, fucking great. Brood War, fucking great. World of Warcraft, at least through Lich King, fucking great. StarCraft 2. I wouldn't say fucking great, but it was still spectacular. I loved StarCraft 2. I don't care what anyone else says. I had fun. I really enjoyed that game. I got all 3 of them. Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, and Legacy of the Void. And, God, Heart of the Swarm in particular. I was so fucking glad to finally see Kerrigan get her revenge on Manx after all these, over a decade. I was waiting for over a fucking decade for that, and I finally got it. So yes, I was so fucking happy to finally see that. God, I was psyched. I was actually fist pumping when that happened. But everything after StarCraft 2 has just been a dumpster fire. They've just been plummeting. So Blizzard is kind of personal for me because they used to be my favorite developer. But it's not just Blizzard. Look at any other developer that was still around or recently died that had a very good past but went to shit. Notably BioWare. That's the big one everyone else uses. Fucking loved Knights of the Old Republic and all them, but current year BioWare? Nah. Get out my face with that bullshit. I loved how the fanboys, too. As BioWare was circling the drain, the fanboys were trying to rationalize it. Like, oh, Andromeda was just as bad as it was because their A-team was assigned to work on Anthem. Anthem's gonna save the company. No. Spoiler alert! Anthem's not gonna save the company. BioWare's done. BioWare's fucking dead. And Maxis... kind of the same thing, after EA took them over completely. But all these companies, they do seem to have one thing in common, right? And that is that the specific individuals who made the companies great in the first place are no longer at the company anymore. So, what I'm going to tell you now, this is going to blow your minds. Instead of being loyal to a brand... maybe be loyal to the individuals that are actually making that brand great. Now, individuals as well, they have their ups and downs. And, again, my primary example, Cliff Bleszinski. He is a laughingstock right now. But in his glory days, this is the guy responsible for the heights of Unreal and Gears of War. It's not exactly a small pedigree. This dude, when he was on top of his game, was on top of the industry. And yeah, he made one of my favorite games of all time, Unreal Tournament 2004. And then he just lost his touch, I guess. So following individuals is not foolproof because, they got their good and bad days, good and bad projects, good and bad decades, whatever. So it's not foolproof, but you'll have a lot better luck if you follow the talented individuals than the brand. Because we see with BioWare and Blizzard as the primary examples, everyone who made the company as great as it was during its glory days is no longer there. And they are now ran by bean counters instead of gamers. And then, you get this generic, basic bitch, lowest common denominator shit as a result of that. Because according to the bean counters, their focus groups say this is what will make them the most money. And maybe in the short term it does. But then all the fans leave, So just because a brand was good in the past doesn't mean you owe them shit right now. The original teams that made them good are gone. We have completely new people there now that, let's face it, aren't nearly as good. Maybe on the development side they could be as good, but they're taking orders from the bean counters now. They have to make what the bean counters tell them to make. So even if they're super talented, their talent is going to waste anyway. So basically what we have now is these brands as they exist now. It's a whole new group of people, not even related to the older team that made the company great, that are basically wearing the skin of this company. They skinned it and are wearing the skin. Oh, look, I'm Blizzard. I'm BioWare. I'm so great. Look at everything I did in the past. You should support me. We got this huge history of success. No. The people who left a long time ago were responsible for that success, not you. You just happen to be there now and have taken over the brand. But everyone who actually made the brand good is gone. This is why loyalty to brands is bullshit, and you're better off following the talent. But again, just to reiterate, even these talented individuals can fall from grace, which is fine. So here's the next step. First off, follow the talented individuals instead of the brands. And you may have to leave a few IPs behind, but it's not like there's not going to be a million spiritual successors. You'll be fine. Especially if you follow the talented individuals. They'll probably make a spiritual successor that's better than the company they left behind. Almost guaranteed. So first step, follow the talented individuals. And then if they fall, you go to step 2. Do not stay loyal to a brand when they go to shit, or a person. Only stay loyal to these companies and people as long as they're actually giving you what you want. If you have a company or a developer that gives you what you want 90% of the time and then they release a stinker, you are not obligated to buy that stinker knowing full well it's a stinker. Skip it and just give them another chance. I'm not buying this one, but maybe next time if you release something I'd actually want, I'll buy that. And this applies even to Blizzard. If Blizzard actually took their criticism to heart and released something I actually fucking liked and wanted, I'll give them my money again for that. But I sure as fuck am not going to give them money for garbage out of some misplaced sense of obligation because at one point in time, for like a good 20 fucking years, mind you, they were my favorite developer. For all that time, they were my favorite developer, but I don't owe them shit. They stopped being my favorite developer because they stopped giving me what I wanted. I only owed them as long as they gave me what I wanted. You give me what I want, I give you shekels. That's the deal. You stop making what I want, I stop giving you shekels. If you want to see my shekels again, get your head out of your asses and give me what I want. Now, I know it's a lost cause, expecting that from Western companies, and that's why we're making our own. Yeah, we're making our own now, starting with comics, moving into gaming, hopefully animation eventually if all goes well. You guys all stop giving us what we want, we're going to make our own. So, yeah, as I mentioned probably a million times by now, as I'm making the transition from consumer to creator, as I'm making Blade Devil, I actually want these companies to keep fucking up. Because, hey, you guys keep refusing to give customers what they want. We'll take care of them. All the customers that you're calling toxic and saying you don't want, hey, you guys are welcome here. We'll gladly take your attention and your shekels, and we'll give you what you want in return. And I am by no means immune to what I just ranted about. None of you owe me shit. If I don't give you what you want, you don't give me money. That's the fucking deal. You should not feel obligated to throw money at me if I ever go the Cliff Bleszinski route and just start sucking, just because I used to give you good stuff in the past. No. As soon as I release something you don't want, just don't buy it. But hopefully that's not going to happen because, we actually want to give people what they want. Yeah, you want it and we want to give it to you. It's that simple. So as long as we get enough shekels to keep giving you what you want, we'll keep giving you what you want. That's the symbiotic relationship there. And yeah, these big companies that are trying to destroy themselves, they just keep screwing up. They keep telling their customers to piss off. Like, we're not going to give you what you want. We don't like you anyway. And then their money dries up. And then they double down even more because they don't want to admit they're wrong. And even more money dries. That's a death spiral right there. Meanwhile, I'm just going to be sitting here. Hey, come here, man. We'll give you what you want. So we're going to give you more of what you want, which is going to result in more shekels, which will result in getting even more of what you want. We want to try to create a positive feedback loop. To conclude, don't feel bad about not supporting us anymore if we stop giving you what you want to. It's only fair. You guys don't owe me anything. I actually owe you guys a lot because you're the ones that are making this possible. And that's what these big companies just keep forgetting. That's why it's so funny. Their customers are the ones that pay their bills. And they're telling their customers to go piss off. They're forgetting who it is that makes what they do possible. Unless you're independently wealthy, you're not going to be making a game if no one's buying it. These customers enable them to basically live their dream jobs. And then they turn around and treat them like shit. I just don't get it. Like, how can someone be that stupid? It makes no sense. It literally makes no fucking sense, but whatever. What do I know? We'll find out next year if I know what I'm talking about, I guess. When we launch Blade Devil, we'll see how it does. But I trust you guys, man. I trust if I give you what you want, you're going to actually pay for it because no one else is giving you what you want in current year. So, yeah, there we go. That's all I got to say about that topic. And, yeah, rant over. In case some of you aren't aware yet, we actually have launched the Blade Devil merch shop. Link in the description box. So if you've ever wanted to support the channel but actually wanted something physical in return, we got the shop for you now. Lots of good stuff up in here. So if you would like any of those or just in general want to support the channel, want to support original content, original products, like Diversity in Comics always used to say, then this is probably the best way to do it. So check it out. We're going to be adding new items on a monthly basis, at least in the near future. So check back often, and independent projects like the ones we're working on are only possible thanks to you guys. So appreciate all of your support.